frunk is full of water now. Hey, what is going on, guys? It's Jordan from Just Tesla. Here we are again. Let's run this down, this whole situation down, and let's see the outcome of this whole thing. So, I just want to put this out there just to start off, just to get the timelines right on this. I collected the Tesla Model 3 from the service center yesterday. After they'd had a look at the leak, they couldn't find a leak. This is the very next morning. So I grabbed the car, drove it home. This is that morning, the morning after taking it home. This is what happened. So I shouldn't have taken the vehicle back. I wish I'd have checked the frunk when we left. There was water all inside the frunk this morning, like a lot of water. I wish I'd checked the frunk. I should have took the vehicle back. Could have got a refund. I could have argued a refund. Now I can't argue a refund. I doubt it. So I took the vehicle back yesterday, and it's the morning of. And like I said, I was just loading in the stuff from my other car. Didn't check the frunk upon collection, because why would I? Why would I think there's any issues with it? And there's all water inside it. Again, they're probably just going to blame me for it. Probably about an hour's time they'll probably open up, and I'll give them a call first thing. And the situation is not over. You watched the last videos, obviously. I wanted to finish this off. I mean, what would I even call this video? Tesla allowed me to drive around. I was gonna say that about the MOT, an expired MOT, but now there's another leak, so as you can see, I'm like majorly frustrated. How is this happening to me? I wish I'd opened the frunk there and then, right in front of them, but I didn't. That didn't happen. I'm completely expecting to have the same conversation as before, where they're denying that I have a leak. And it's in a completely different place in the car this time. There was a lot of water. The roadside assistant pack was destroyed. So that will need replacing as well. I did manage to get through to him, and this is that call. Hello?
Your estimated hold time is greater than 15 minutes.
What, 15
Our
minutes?
customer support...
2,000 years later.
Hi there. I got my car back from the service centre yesterday to try and fix a leak which they couldn't find. And I've got to the car this morning, and the frunk is now full with water. There's loads of water inside the frunk. So the original leak was inside the cabin, was coming like over the centre console. So that leak hasn't appeared this morning. It's now the frunk is full of water now. Yeah, but I'm not like. I want to get it in today, because last time they said that it didn't happen, and I want to just get through to taking it up today.
2 hours later.
Good morning, Mr. Monaco, new through to Tesla Services Birmingham. I understand that you've got a follow-up concern with the leak, is that right?
That's right, yeah. So I went to put all my stuff back in the vehicle that I'd taken out this morning, and when I opened the frunk's just full of water.
So it's the frunk this time?
Yeah, and it's at this point I'm really worried that there's like a major issue, like the chassis twisted or some like really bad thing, because I just think, what's the chances of 2 leaks in 2 different places?
Obviously, in the first instance, we were unable to spot the water coming into the vehicle, so, okay.
Oh, sorry. I was going to ring up as well about the first instance as well. So I tested the vehicle out myself. I can't find a leak. I'm really glad about that. But the headliner has got water stain on it from when the water got in initially, and I was wondering if that I was expecting that to be fixed as well. Is that something that is going to get fixed, or?
We need to get back in, obviously, and re-investigate what's going on.
Please, yeah. I'm really stressed at this point.
No, I appreciate that totally. Okay, man. So I've got a courtesy car available from Friday.
Okay, is it electric?
Yes, it'll be a Tesla.
Okay, lovely, yeah.
Okay, Okay, so you can come in on Friday,
Okay.
and then obviously what we can do is wrap around the vehicle with you,
Yeah.
re-inspect the headlines so we can confirm obviously an action plan in relation to that,
Yeah.
and then obviously re-inspect the front for you as well, okay?
Okay, in terms of there's a substantial amount of water in it at the moment. I don't want to, but should I leave that in or should I mop that up or?
If you can get the process of current state,
Yeah.
so we can obviously see how you found it, and then obviously if you can get some of the water out, that that would be beneficial to the linings that are in there,
Yeah.
and then obviously we can go from there.
Okay, and also, sorry, lastly, is the luckily there wasn't anything stored in it apart from the roadside assistance kit as well.
Yeah, I'll make a note that needs to be replaced.
Lovely, thank you very much.
You're welcome, take care.
Alright.
Okay, so I actually got through, so I'm happy they answered, so I'm actually pleased. So I'm booked in for Friday. I'm glad I didn't just get passed on. So from here, I'm just waiting until Friday. I'm gonna drive down to the service centre and collect the car. So we're heading down to the service centre now so we can take a look at this leak. So I'm dropping the vehicle off at the service centre and I managed to speak to one of the engineers and show him the vehicle. So I showed him the vehicle and I showed him the inside where the water damage was originally, and he can see that there is damage to the inside and there is a leak. There was a leak on the inside, even though they're not acknowledging it. He can see where the water got in and he acknowledges that. Now he didn't say they were going to replace it or not, but he did acknowledge that. I also show him the frunk and he says, yeah, water shouldn't be getting in like this. Because I showed him the water beading on the frunk lid on the inside that was still there that morning, and he says, yeah, water shouldn't get in there. Obviously I'd already dried up the frunk, so I couldn't show him the water in the frunk, but there were quite a few water droplets in the bottom, and he acknowledged that there was water in the bottom. There was water droplets in the bottom. I get a Model X. Super happy. I think they remembered last time that I'd asked if they did have a Model X, because it's something I wanted to drive, because I wanted to see if it's something I would buy. So they gave us a Model X P100D. I am not complaining at this point. I'm guessing the MOT's okay on it as well, unlike before. But yeah, really nice, big, badass P100D Model X. And yeah, absolutely fantastic vehicle. I've really enjoyed driving around in it. There are loads more videos of the Model X coming. Obviously, I've filmed a ton of content. The problem I've got right now is I'm filming so much content, I have not got enough time to edit it. So yeah, but I thought this took priority, this video. But yeah, so far so good. Got P100D. So I'm driving the P100D around all day. This is the same day, so I've just dropped the car off. It's around 10 o'clock in the morning. I dropped the Model 3 off. I'm driving around all day in the Model X. It gets to around 5:30 at night and I get a text from Tesla and it says this: good afternoon, Jordan. Vehicle is ready for collection. Fully water tested, no leaks found. Headliner, so here's the good news. So that right there really frustrated me because they've only been testing it for 6-7 hours at the max. That's the only amount of testing they could have done. And I'd already explained to them that I think it was the water testing that had caused the issue, because they'd had the hose on it overnight to try and find out where the water was coming through the roof. I thought that that's possibly where the water had come through. So I wanted them to do like a long test on it, but they've only tested it for like 6-7 hours, maybe less. 6 or 7 hours is the max they could have done in terms of the window they actually had the car, so probably a lot less than that. So I'm frustrated, but it came with some good news, and this was the good news. So after your comments, some of you guys commented, hey George, they should replace the headliner at the very least because of the damage, the small damage they've made, and because of the water damage on the headliner. Now, because they were denied that the water got in there in the first place, they wasn't willing to replace it firsthand. But they did say this in this next text. They've said, the headliner has been ordered for you, and as soon as it arrives, we will of course let you know. So they're ordering a replacement headliner for the whole vehicle. Amazing. So even though they're not acknowledging that there was a leak in the roof, they are willing to replace the headliner. Frustrating that they won't admit it, but I'm happy because they're going to replace the headliner. So it doesn't really make a difference to me at this point. The leak hasn't come back yet, so I'm happy about that. In the roof, the leak hasn't come back. But I'm happy about the replacing headliner. But yeah, so the text finishes, Of course, we'll let you know. We are back open on Monday to swap over accordingly at 8 a.m. from 8 a.m. Kind regards. So I text back instantly, and because I was a little bit knocked that they'd only done a few hours walk testing on it. So I said, could you do the overnight test on the car just to be sure? Question mark. No response. Now, to be fair, I don't really get responses on it. But I tried to call, so I tried to call straight away. I knew that they were shutting at 6, I think they're supposed to shut. So I didn't have long, so I called up straight away, was on hold, and it said, you'll be on hold for 20 minutes. I was holding as long as I could. And then it said, unfortunately, we're now closed. So I couldn't get through to them. So I had to wait all weekend. But I had the Model X, so I couldn't really complain too much. So I called them. This is that call. So I was frustrated, so please again, bear with me. I was slightly frustrated, but this is the call that I had with them.
Hello, Jordan, you okay?
Hi there. Yeah, so basically, I don't want to have the back and forth that we had last time with the whole leak and everything. I was hoping that you'd be able to do the overnight test for me, so I've got peace of mind when I come to collect the vehicle.
You want to test it again?
Yeah, well basically...
You tested it all day. Like for 24 hours, pretty much.
Well, yeah, but I dropped the vehicle off on Friday, and around, I think it was like 9 or 10, and then I got a text around 4 o'clock that they'd done all the testing. So it couldn't have been that long of testing on the car.
Okay, I mean, if you wanted to test it, you can leave it overnight and test it.
Is that all right? It's just more for peace of mind, because I feel like it was the testing of the windscreen that caused the leak, the water to accumulate last time.
So you wanted to test it for 24 hours with water on it?
Please, yeah. If you could do an overnight test and everything's fine with it, I'll come collect it, no problem. Yeah.
Okay. I'll ask the work from last my manager.
All right. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it. I don't know why they would lie. Like, they just said they tested it for 24 hours. That's obviously a lie. Like, I dropped the car off around 10 o'clock in the morning on Friday. I received a phone call at around 4:30, I think. I'd have to check that. I received a text message around 4:30 saying they tested the vehicle and there was no leak. So 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. Even if they did it to 5, that's 7 hours. So they could have only have tested it for 7 hours. Now, that service centre is busy. So you're telling me they got that vehicle, drove it straight into testing and started testing it straight away? That's not obviously what happened. That didn't happen. So at this point, I'm frustrated again. I felt like they were slightly sharp with me. I thought it was a very fair question to ask. Like, could you do it overnight? I think that's fair enough. So it looks like they might do it. They might do the overnight test. The thing that frustrated me is that they said they tested it for over 24 hours. Now, I think this could be down to miscommunication, but I also think, like, let's just get this fact straight. Let's not lie about it. Let's not misguide the customer. Let's get the facts straight. How long did we water test it? How did we water test it? And it's like this at this point, I didn't have very much trust in them at this point. So I receive a text back from them later, and this was a text. Good afternoon, Jordan. We have tried to call you. Please let me know when you will be able to collect the vehicle. But in terms of testing, I would be happy if the exact same tests were performed as before, as this is what I feel caused the water ingress in the frunk. Now, I received a phone call later on that day. I was in the Model X and I was doing some filming of the Model X, and I received a phone call later on that day, and this is that call. Right, okay, so do you think that's how the boot got filled with water?
The front gets full of water, yeah. From the floor to power dust it, power washing from all angles, trying to get into to leak, and then we couldn't get it.
I could see that happening. I could definitely see that happening. The technician thinks it's because of the pressure washing and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So normal rainfall wouldn't get into the front.
Not the way he did, I don't think.
Okay.
So he was saying that he was having guys with like a pressure washer from underneath, and
Right.
doing quite a lot of testing that way. So.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine then. Okay. can I collect tomorrow at some point? Would that work out for you guys?
Have you got a loan car?
I've got a loaner vehicle, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, lovely. All right, thank you very much. Now, at this point, I know some of you guys will probably be like, don't accept the vehicle back. Make sure they do a overnight test on the car. But this is my thoughts and feelings. I thought that it was the water testing they did originally that caused the leak in the frunk. So when she said she'd spoken to the engineers and they had explained to her that there was water coming through the frunk because of the original water testing, and they accepted responsibility for the water getting into the frunk, I'm happy to accept that as an explanation, because I think that is actually what has happened. It doesn't look like any water's getting in through the seal. The seal looks perfect. I was obviously slightly worried initially that it was some sort of chassis issue or some major issue, but I'm happy with the explanation, and that's all I wanted, was the explanation. Now, they didn't give me the explanation for the roof, possibly because they couldn't, but they're willing to replace the headliner. But they did give me an explanation for the frunk, and they did accept responsibility for the frunk. So I'm happy to take the vehicle back at this point. So I then, from this point on, I go and collect the car from Tesla. So I drive down there on the very next day, on the Tuesday. I drive down to Tesla, drop the Model X off, and I managed to speak to one of the workers. Very polite to me, very lovely, and they explained everything to me that had happened. They brought the vehicle back round. I looked inside, they dried out the frunk, and I went back inside and explained to them that the roadside assistant kit that was stored in the frunk had got soaked when the water came into the frunk, and instantly they went into the back, got a brand new one out, replaced it straight away, apologised, gave me the car keys, and were very apologetic, and that's that. So at the moment, they've got the headliner on order. I'm going to go back and get that replaced. The frunk, I do believe, is watertight, and I think it is just, apparently they were spraying water with jet washers underneath the frunk from all angles, and I can see how that would cause water getting into the frunk in unusual circumstances. Now, I'm going to obviously keep an eye on the frunk. I've been keeping an eye on the leak in the inside the cabin. I can't see anything getting in at the moment. So I'm really happy. The car seems to be okay in terms of water tightness, and yeah, everything seems to be going okay as of right now. Anyway, I promise you, I'm really hoping to wrap this up with the whole service centre. I think they're getting their act together. I think I'm just one of the unlucky ones. So don't stress, don't worry, and you probably won't have any issues with your Model 3. If you are interested in ordering a Model 3, there's a link in the description. It means that you get 1,000 free supercharging miles. We get 1,000 free supercharging miles. It helps support the channel. I greatly appreciate it if you do use it. And everyone who commented on the last few videos who's ordered a Model 3, congratulations guys, because you're gonna have such an amazing time with the collection of the vehicle, driving the vehicle around. It's an unbelievable car. And thank you so much for supporting us and joining us on this journey. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you've shared the videos and liked the videos, thank you so much. Everybody, have a blessed day. Stay safe out there. Wash your hands and all that malarkey. And yeah, thanks again.